Kazakhstan global rankings since independence in 1991 are relevant for assessing its economic and social progress. Key indices like ease of doing business, competitiveness, corruption perceptions, human development, and educational show improvements, but questions remain. Do they reflect real structural changes? Example criteria diversification, targeted policies, example criteria reforms, or BIS, example criteria methodological shifts. Trends vary. Economic sector advance quickly via policies, while social and education sectors progress unevenly due to disparities.
Since 2010, Kazakhstan has improved in economic rankings like ease of doing business and competitiveness, mainly due to the government policies, but bigger, deeper changes to the economy are still missing. For instance, in ease of doing business, Kazakhstan have made significant progress. This was thanks to the 100 Concrete Steps program, which made it simpler to start and run business by cutting red tape. And in competitiveness, it improved a bit with better infrastructure and the government management. So let's have a look on this report about ease of doing business ranking from 77th place in 2050 to 28th in 2019. Similarly, countries' competitiveness rank improved slightly from 61st in 2005 to 55th in 2019. However, these advantages are mostly the result of targeted policy rather than broad economic transformation. The economy continues to depend heavily on oil and the extractive industries, which still account for around 60% of GDP. While these sectors benefit from global price booms, manufacturing and other non-resource areas have not kept pace. Additionally, the reliability of some rankings is questioned since they often rely on self-reported data.
Our second statement looks at how social and governance rankings reflect Kazakhstan's development since independence. According to the UNDP Human Development Reports, Kazakhstan's HDI grew from about 0.69 to about 0.84, placing the country in the very high human development group and around 60th place globally. This rise is linked to state strategies such as Kazakhstan 2030 and later programs in health and education, which expanded vaccination, maternal care and school access. So in terms of life expectancy, literacy and basic services, the rankings do capture real social progress driven by targeted policies. However, when HDI is adjusted for inequality, Kazakhstan's value drops noticeably. That means not all groups benefit equally, and regional and income gaps remain. Our Governance Transparency International's Corruption Perceptions Index in 2024 gives Kazakhstan 40 out of 100 and 88th place out of 180 countries, up from much lower scores in the early 2000s. This improvement coincides with anti-corruption laws, the launch of YouGov, open government portals and the Digital Kazakhstan program, which made many services accessible and traceable online. These are clear examples where reforms are directly reflected in rankings. But experts and NGOs note that high-profile cases, concentration of economic power, and issues in the extractive sector show that informal practices still persist. Combined with the CPI's reliance on expert perceptions and a changed methodology after 2012, this raises the question, are we measuring deep institutional change or mainly better procedures and better image? Our conclusion for social indices, Kazakhstan does show genuine improvements in living standards and state services, but governance scores suggest partial, uneven structural change, where global rankings may slightly overstate how far institutional reforms have really gone.
For over 3 decades, Kazakhstan has transformed its education system, from the early years of independence to today's ambitious reforms. But after all this progress, one question remains. Is it real change or just illusion? Since gaining independence, Kazakhstan's education system has expanded at impressive pace. New schools, modern universities, and ambitious reforms have reshaped the nation's classrooms. Yet behind this rapid growth lies a deeper question. Has it truly improved the quality of learning? Enrollment rates have reached almost universal levels, from about 85% in 2009 to 98% today. More students enter universities than ever before. Yet the question remains, How good is the education that they are receiving?
In global assessments like Program for International Student Assignments, Kazakhstan improved slightly from 59th place in 2009 to 51st place in 2022 with better math scores. But despite reforms inspired by the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development, progress remains modest.
In the 1990s and in 2000s, the main focus was on creating new national curricula, developing Kazakh language education, and moving away from the Soviet model. In the 2010s and 2020s, the country focused on digitalization, trilingual education, and modernization of schools through projects like Nazarbayev Intellectual Schools.
In conclusion, rankings reflect policy effects and some structural changes with pieces influencing gains. Economic trends volatile, social education steadier but unequal. Diversification and transparency need for sustainability. Our view Kazakhstan potential hinges on balanced reforms.